Well, Javier is a gentleman who he's an economist. He's a trained economist. He has spent most of his life, because for the last 2 years he has been a member of parliament, but he has spent all his life in either in academia or in working for the private sector. He now consider himself an Austrian economist, but he was not an Austrian for all his life. He's been, let's say, he converted some years ago, but he has always been a very serious and a very robust economist. And it's very interesting that he's running a campaign in which he regularly quotes one of our biggest classical liberal thinkers of the country, who is Alberto Venegas Lynch. He's very clear about what he wants to do. He's not trying to sugarcoat the message. And it's interesting, he's so much influenced by the Austrian School of Economics that some of the things he says, it's very interesting. I think most of his voters understand, and that's why they vote for him. But I think creates certain misunderstandings with the media. For instance, when he says that he wants to blow up the central bank, which is not that he's talking dynamite somewhere and his first measure will be, you understand, everybody who's probably watching or listening to this understands what he means by that, which is, just a metaphor of what he thinks, about what he thinks the central bank is doing to our money, the Argentinian peso, the now deceased Argentinian peso, you could say. But well, he's quite a character. He's very vocal, definitely, and he can be very in your face sometimes.
By the way, in the American context, we have a saying for that. It's called "End the Fed," and it's about ending the central bank and getting rid of that manipulation. And I'd love for you to, before we get into some of the policies that are resonating that he talks about, I think people need to have some historical context for what an economic basket case, public policy in the Argentinian economy has been. Endless inflation right now, I read, was 100% in 2023, and I don't even think Americans, for all of our inflation, can even conceive what that means. But it's been this socialist Keynesian experiment since the 1940s. Tell us. I mean, that's a long period of time that I'm asking you to describe. But tell us what the fiscal mismanagement of your country.
Yeah, I'll try to make a very long story short, and also it's a very sad story. So I hope nobody. We should, a trigger warning is if you're experiencing, some depression or something, don't listen to this part of the talk, because it's going to be very sad.